This week, we discuss why we rebranded, introduce the PSN, do we love or hate the state of E3, the controversy surrounding Hogwarts Legacy, and much more. So hit that power button. It's time to pixelate. Hello, one and all. Welcome to the rebranded show, our brand new podcast, PixelHate. Otaku Street is no more, my friends. And though it is somewhat sad, it's very exciting as well. Kind of a fresh start here. Chris, what you doing, bud?
Having a fresh start with
You've been caught in 4K.
which is perfectly fine.
Is it?
Yeah. This is legal.
We'll see if YouTube has something to say about that. Speaking of which, this is also our first episode of the show that will be posted on YouTube, as well as Spotify, Apple Pod, Google Podcast, all the places where you have previously listened to the show. We now have video podcasts. We should probably spill the beans on why we're rebranding here. What's the point? Why do we go this route? Why are we no longer Otaku Street and instead PixelHate? So basically, all of us love video games and all of us like anime. Some of us love anime, but we love video games more collectively than anime. So we thought that it'd be a smarter idea to kind of gear the show towards that. So going forward, the podcast is going to be pretty much exclusively about video games. We'll obviously talk about movies and news stories in the industry, and if something really big anime wise pops up, then we'll talk about it. But we're not gonna have seasons of the show no more. We're not gonna follow an anime each season. It's just gonna be one ongoing thing. So it's gonna be less convoluted, less confusing, and easier for everyone to follow. So if this is your first episode and you are just tuning in to PixelHate and you're like, what even is Otaku Street? Well, don't worry about it. You're in the clear. If you have been a long-time listener, then we hope that you guys continue following us, continue listening, and tell your friends. And now they won't think you're a weeb because you're telling them to watch and listen an anime podcast. This is now a video game podcast, so that just sounds a lot cooler. You're welcome.
So now they'll just call you a nerd.
Yep. Still kind of figuring out what our slogan's going to be, but I kind of want it to be welcome to PixelHate, where the H is silent, but the hate is real.
I like it so far still.
I like it.
Say you didn't want the welcome thing.
Welcome. What do you mean?
Oh, just
Like
say PixelHate rather than welcome to.
Or to say this is.
Oh, yeah. This is PixelHate, where the H is silent, but the hate is real. Yeah. I mean, again, we're working on it.
That's true.
We're working out the kinks.
We're not professionals. It's fine.
We
So
are
I guess-
professionals.
So I guess this is the start of the show. This is PixelHate, where the H is silent, but the hate is real. Okay,
Let's
so
start the slander.
yep, let's get things rolling here. So we're gonna actually introduce and premiere a brand new segment called PixelHate Sports Network. So the reason we're doing this is because over the course of the year, we're following our fantasy league, our fantasy video game awards league. If you listened to the last episode, you know that we did a draft on air because we're live, quote unquote, even though we're not. We did a live draft, not live, of our fantasy
Live.
and so now, not live. And so now, throughout the course of the year, we were going to follow the releases, and whoever gets the highest scores wins, just like how fantasy is supposed to work. So we are introducing you all to the PSN, the PixelHate Sports Network. Greetings to all of you fantasy sports fans out there. I'm Adam Quigley of the PixelHate Sports Network with your fantasy update of the week. We've already had an exciting start to the season with some impressive games, scores, and highlights, and some not so impressive. Month 1 of the PixelHate Fantasy Series starts now. A shocking surprise release that no one saw coming. Following a freshly formatted Microsoft showcase, a brand new banger of an IP, Hi-Fi Rush came in like a wrecking ball. Is that on the soundtrack? Should be. The rhythm game beat 'em up absolutely rocked its way to rave reviews all around and holds a current Metacritic score of 89. Unfortunately, it was a surprise release that no one was able to take advantage of, but it begs the question, could we see more of this out of a Game Pass service that's starting to hit its stride? Callisto Protocol. We had hopes. They did not deliver. We had dreams. They gave us mid-nightmares. Daunting combat, haunting gameplay, and not a scare in sight. Had Glenn Schofield lost his spark? Ooh-wee. Could that Dead Space remake hit within striking distance of a good score? We should have known better. Despite not deserving it all, after all this hate, Mike is on the board with a strong 89 to start his campaign and sets the standard high with his first round draft pick. Revamped visuals and smoother gameplay led critics to hail the survival horror remake as just as sweet and solid as the original. 15 years later, you win this time, EA. Not much noise on the waiver wire so far. The other teams have held their strategies close to the vest, while the makeup, a team name for yourself, insert name here. Their Saints and Sinners off the row and discarded layers of fears into the abyss for Ghost Stories Judas and Game Kitchen's Blasphemous 2. With the advent of Hogwarts Legacy on the horizon and the hopes and dreams of wizards and witches everywhere bearing down on WB Games this week. Can Wolfface second rounder knock it out of the park, or will blacking out be the only history he makes this month? Tune in next week to find out.
Please tell me that's not your first time reading that, and you didn't see where it said insert your team name here.
It was my first time reading it.
Okay, that's what I thought. You know, I sent this to you at 3:00, right? Not even. I sent this at.
That's gonna be my team name. Insert team name here.
Like it.
So yes, that was the first edition of PSN. Yes, we know that also stands for PlayStation Network.
No, it doesn't. It stands for PixelHate News. Whatever.
PixelHate Sports
Network. Exactly.
So out of those updates and news stories and whatever, is there anything that we wanted to talk about out of all that? I know we talked about a couple games here and there. We can talk about Hi-Fi Rush for a quick second, I think.
Yeah, the game came out of nowhere, but I just want to quickly mention how our video editor, Micah, was talking slander about Dead Space, but then the game actually did well.
Yeah.
And he drafted it.
Yeah, and he was like, I'm not excited about anything anymore.
He said hard 8.
Yeah. He was like, it's going to be a hard 80. Like, well, selling yourself short there, pal.
No, but to be fair, Callisto Protocol kind of set the tone. So
there'll be a lot of fantasy games coming out this year, though. I think each of us, maybe not you, Adam. Like, actually, I don't remember. I don't think Adam has, but everybody else has a fantasy game coming out this month. So,
yeah, I don't think I have any on my team.
This month is about to be huge for fantasy, so we're gonna have
actually. I have Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Ooh.
Oh, I didn't think that came out.
Is that a PlayStation exclusive?
Yes. Unfortunately. But it's all good. So yeah, back to Hi-Fi Rush really quick. That's one of the most creative games that I've seen in a long time. Now, obviously rhythm-based even beat 'em ups aren't like a brand new thing, and it's not like the only game to do it. But the fact that it came out of nowhere
and they mashed that shit up perfectly.
Oh my god, and it's so polished. Like
Mhm.
it's amazing because the entire fucking world is it's all bouncing to the same beat essentially.
It's
And
fucking awesome, dude.
I've never seen anything like that
When
before.
when you're on top of a building and like you pan out and you're looking around and you're like, oh, everything is moving in junction to the beat still in the fucking distance and shit. You're like, oh yeah, they did their fucking thing with this shit.
Hell yeah. They love that project, and you could definitely tell. I gotta go back. I might, if I feel any better, which by the way, I am like unbelievably hungover right now. But that's besides the point. If I'm feeling any better, I might just put it on in when we're finishing up here. Chances of that happening extremely low, but there's a chance. Next thing on the docket was what, Jamal?
Our topic. Well, speaking of freaking Wolpe, possibly blacking out this month. The big three is no longer at E3 this year, so it seems like they're backing out. I mean, it wasn't. I feel like it was, expected that Nintendo and PlayStation would have done it, but now that Xbox has backed out, also, it's more like, what's E3 about to be this year? I know they're doing a whole revamp, but without those three like big like first party companies in it, I don't even know what to expect out of it anymore.
I
It's
feel
gonna
like
be a shell of itself.
hold on. I feel like it can become like half indie showcase and then half individual studios. Like it's going to be a studio battle rather than, the big companies showing off. It could almost be like a combine, right?
My only problem with that, Whoop, is that so much revenue was brought in by the fact that they had the big names there at
Right.
first. So if they're gonna like shift lanes like that, it may shift all the way out of where they're comfortable being as far as finances go, because this is all financial gain for them. As we know, the ESRA only makes money off of E3 and fucking rating games. That's it. So
I feel like they need to make it like a bigger gaming event. Like, how like add a tournament, add some other like gaming things into the event itself. Maybe that'll help highlight it even more. Yes, I do think studio developer things should definitely be in, but they have to have either a lot more games or have actual footage. Like I don't want a whole bunch of studios just showing like teaser things, I
Is
want
it
to
open
see.
to the general public?
No, so E3 in this year is going to be from the 13th through the 16th, but on the last 2 days, the 15th and the 16th, will be open to the public.
Okay. I mean, if they have enough demos and things, they would have to restructure a lot, because without big names, what's the big appeal? Because there's not like the thrill of knowing, oh, there's going to be a new Super Mario something, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no like hype anymore. So they have to rebuild it from scratch.
But I mean, like, it depends how the first party does it, right? Because Xbox said that they'll probably have like their own showcase, but outside of E3, it'll probably be like their own another developer direct that's happening in tandem with E3. So there'll already be people like looking for the next gaming news. So there still could be attention for E3, just that Microsoft's not directly involved in E3 anymore.
It's funny because I
not
feel
for
like
this
we
year.
predicted this. Didn't we, Chris? I could have
You
sworn
mentioned it.
we talked about this like months ago, like how E3 was just gonna eventually companies are just gonna start shelling out their stuff themselves. Because once 2020 happened and it was like, oh, we can't even
we can do this
E3
now.
Yeah, we don't have like, you don't have to keep up appearances, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
it's the same thing for as soon as as soon as companies are able to go full digital, that's exactly what's gonna fucking happen. I guarantee. Like they can't cut out the middleman yet. They can't cut out the Amazons and the Walmarts and the fucking. But as soon as they can, guaranteed Target is fucking gone and they're going full digital. We're already seeing it, the writing on the wall as far as that goes. So why wouldn't they again try to shift it back into their own lanes and have the control over their own narratives instead of having to go out of their way to make it to this date, make it right now. We have to have it right here, right now. No, we have our summer showcase whenever the fuck we want to have our summer showcase.
And I think it's better because you get the chance, like them dropping Hi-Fi Rush just out of nowhere like that. Like you get 15 hours warning. We don't see that. When has that ever happened before? And then for it to be a good game on top of it.
Right.
Nobody knew this was coming unless you were like a super insider, right? So Game Pass, Microsoft already has like that. That's something that can set another standard, because what if Sony drops the next Horizon or, you know, another new IP like that? Maybe will Nintendo do it? Like that's going to be the new thing, because Jamal, we've been talking about this for a long time. We hate knowing like 10 months in advance, 15 months in advance, oh, this is coming out on this day, just for it to be delayed and delayed and delayed. Drop the shit when it's ready. This shit dropped and we weren't even ready. So
exactly. And it gives these studios time to actually work on it. Can we announce it? I'm assuming there's something with stockholders, I mean, that we've seen with Cyberpunk. So these developers, these publishers feel the need to rush these games, but as long as you keep your mouth shut, you have all the time in the world. That way we drop it when it's ready. I mean, you're making the money back easily.
You can't be disappointed if you don't know it's coming.
Exactly. So that's what I need to expect from a lot of these developers. Now, I think I don't know. They could have like, I wish they did have these virtual things like at E3. You know, like if you don't want to be there, don't be there. But you could have it there or find some way to work it out. But I mean, as Chris says, by them, you know, they can have it whenever they want to now. They don't have to worry about like keeping a certain type of schedule or anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame though, because like E3 used to be the shit.
It used to be the fucking Super Bowl, bro.
It
like
used to be the shit. Like, and now there's a lot. Must come to an end. That's right.
I mean, like, so like,
I'm just
what
curious,
can we
like,
possibly predict?
Right, there's a lot riding on this E3, more so in the sense like if it underperforms, like we'll see the actual end of E3, especially with the big three not being involved. Like,
oh yeah, we'll see it die, and it's like you said, Adam. It's super sad because of what it used to mean. Like it used to be the time of year where we all used to just be hype as hell, ready to sit down, watch all our favorite gaming companies come together and show us what they had to show us for the year. That used to be it.
The competition is so like, it's so tense now, and like before it used to be cool because like you could still fucking cohabitate with a Sony fanboy if you're an Xbox fanboy or whatever, vice versa. But now like it's not just the people like playing the games, it's the higher ups in each company that are like, no, fuck them. Like I don't even want to be in the same building as them anymore. Like what the fuck that's so selfish in my opinion. I mean, it's the nature of the beast. I get it. You got to make money. Everyone wants to eat, but still, like, there's such little like camaraderie between those companies nowadays. Like, we all have the same fucking goal. Like, you guys want to make money, but you want to make good products, and everyone like, you know that majority of the people who work at Microsoft also have a fucking PlayStation, and same at like Sony. I feel like they might be a little bit more strict, but people at Microsoft are like, fuck it, like I don't hate you guys. So basically what I'm saying is that this is all Sony's fault. So I made it go.
I expected Nintendo to kind of back away because Nintendo's always kind of been like, even though they've been doing it the longest,
since 2013. Well, they started the direct in 2011, but they started doing it at E3 since 2013.
Exactly. So they kind of wanted to shift away from them. And again, they're a toy company, right? So like it could have just been a Sony Microsoft thing, but now we don't even have that. So I mean, E3 can die or it can be reborn if what's being brought to the show is enough to stand on for, you know, year after year.
That's be enough developers, enough developers with actual gameplay to show.
But
Like,
this is their
obviously,
last chance.
yeah, we need to see Ubisoft, EA, Santa Monica, Naughty Dog, Rockstar, Rocksteady. We need to see like, and even a whole bunch of indie games that Nintendo has shown, but they can even bring something new to the table. Like, if we had a team like Team Cherry that made Hollow Knight bring something like in new that's fresh, I would glad to see that. Had to see people like make their own individual artworks. If whoever this, I don't know I forgot what studio made. I don't remember what studio made Hogwarts Legacy, but say if that studio independently announced Hogwarts Legacy instead of being part of PlayStation, that would be great too. You can keep PlayStation, Nintendo, Microsoft. They can do their own first party things, but all these third party things, they don't need to be part of their own showcase. They can be their own thing.
It's true, but what world do we live in, Jamal? What world do we live in where again, Final Fantasy is definitely gonna be at the PlayStation show, and
for sure.
And like, so that's what scares me about all of this. That's what scares me about all of this.
It's a new direction. Oh yeah, so thanks. We'll play. So Avalanche Software is the one that makes Hogwarts Legacy.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's a new direction. I mean, I'll be keeping tuned to E3. I mean, like Adam said, it's going to be the direction of where it takes.
Yeah.
It's nervous-ing. I'm going to still watch it like it's Super Bowl. Hopefully, to help keep eyes on E3. Like the first parties do their showcase throughout the month of June.
Right.
That will help it a lot, just to help it start out. If they really do support the concept of E3 while still wanting to do their own thing, that will help a lot. Maybe, even though E3 is run by the ESA, maybe it has some more like hardware type things. Obviously, you're not going to have your first party. First parties are always going to do their own hardware, obviously. But, third party hardware, like if there's certain type of accessories, something new, maybe they can find some way to show that off. I don't know. Like this, like if the Steam Deck was announced at E3 or something like that, I'm like, cool. Maybe companies that make like own headsets, or maybe Twitch can have something, I don't know, at E3. If they have some,
there's a lot of space to fill.
Exactly. So they have to get really creative about what E3 is about to turn into.
I didn't even think about the hardware stuff. Like, we don't get like these classic moments like Shigeru Miyamoto introducing like Twilight Princess on the Wii and shit. Like that never happens again. That's a shame.
E3. We might get an Ouya moment.
What is
when
that?
I remember when they first showed off the Legend of Zelda like tech demo or whatever on the Wii U. That don't look so clean, but then they never brought it to reality.
Chris, remind me what the Ouya moment was.
Oh
yeah,
God.
I don't know what that is.
So the Ouya was one of the upstart consoles that was like very centered around phone games and small indie games and blah blah blah. Like that was their niche, and they came out with the console and it died. So that's what I'm worried about for E3. That's why I'm so scared. Like it's
like a big disappointment.
Exactly. Like they're gonna have announcements, they're gonna have shit, but how hard is it gonna hit? We'll see.
Oh no, something's definitely gonna like fail. But I mean, mistakes have to be made. This is gonna be the first time that a lot of people are gonna have like the spotlight when otherwise they would just kind of be part of the show.
Maybe the first and the last.
Yeah, so we're gonna figure it out today.
The Ouya.
Oh wow,
that's the Ouya.
That's ugly. It looks like a Game Boy Micro, but with handles.
It's so gross. That little box is like the whole system too.
How small? That shit looks small as fuck. Looks like an
tiny.
Apple TV.
It was an Android machine.
Yeah, nah.
You get more spotlights. Like, how obviously we have the presentations, but you have the showcases afterwards. Is that even going to be a thing anymore? Because now there's more room to fill all these presentations.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I expect it to just be game after game after game after game.
Like, I should only be seeing like actual gameplay footage. I shouldn't be seeing any teasers about what's to come.
And I'm wondering, like, certain companies are gonna like if they have the option to either be part of a developer showcase, like, versus being part of E3, what would you choose? Like, do you still go to E3 anyway? Like, for example, the team that's making the Wolverine game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that like a Sony exclusive?
If
Would
it
they
is,
rather-
then they wouldn't be at E3. I imagine.
Yeah.
I imagine Sony would.
They would just be like,
for themselves.
Right. So are we only seeing third parties?
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
That's the only
That's
thing
what it
that
has
makes
to be.
it makes
Completely?
sense.
Because that
That's
100.
what it has to be.
Because
So-
these first parties are not going to have like, especially if a game they know, like they're not going to like just have it somewhere else, like be shown off at E3 when
Control
they can
your
bring
own
in
narrative.
the viewers for yes. As
and
Chris says.
to what extent are they not involved in E3 this year? Like
that's
are they like are there not going to be any games that are on all three consoles? Like any game that's on one of those consoles, like are they saying no, you have to be, I guess if it's an exclusive, that makes sense. They're going to have it at their own showcase. But like if a game that's coming out on all three consoles, like can they even like tell them not to go to the thing?
Like what you talking about, like Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft tell them?
Yeah,
I doubt it because like that makes
like
no sense.
It's not to that degree, right? Like they want to focus on their own showcases, but they're not like keeping third-party developers from going.
There's no way, unless I don't think they'll be able to do that. Maybe unless they try like blackmail or something, but
Right.
then we'll see a whole nother scandal coming
Jesus.
about in the
Wow.
gaming industry.
Well,
Whatever
June is going to be very interesting. We do need to wrap this up though.
Oh yeah. So do we love it, boys, or do we hate it? The direction of E3.
Hate it.
Hate.
I don't know yet. I'm very in the.
You gotta pick one.
I have to pick it.
Yeah.
Um,
I
At
feel in the
this
same
very
way.
moment,
Wolpe, I'm in the same boat as you, but I don't love it, so I gotta hate it.
there you go.
I don't love it. Okay. Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, man. Like if there was something to love, like enough, well, I'll say enough to love, then, but there's not. So I
It
don't
can
like
change.
it. I hate it.
Change.
It can.
We have 4 months. We have
But
4
right now, I
months.
hate it. All right. Well, even though, speaking of scandals in the gaming industry, So, what if a controversial person made a piece of art, right? And this all ties into Hogwarts Legacy, Blizzard, and other stuff. So, if a controversial person, celebrity made a piece of art, should outsourced material be punished for that individual's person's decisions?
When
No.
we're specifically talking about like video games and movies, right?
Yeah, anything,
Anything, video games, movies, books, all the above, all of the fucking above.
anything
Okay.
that can be
Well,
tied into what we talk about.
God, man.
yeah. I mean, I'm not going to go that broad on it, but a couple hot topics right now in that debate is J.K. Rowling with Hogwarts Legacy, even though she doesn't really have any hand in the development of the game. I see, and this isn't like everyone, but there are people out there that are saying if you buy and play Hogwarts Legacy, you're a transphobic bastard, you're a bad person, all this shit,
Which is a dumb fucking narrative. The dumbest of fucking narratives. I just want to say that right now out loud.
I have a
everyone to
question.
hear.
Like, let's say if she did had a hand in making it, right? But the game was exactly still the same. Would you buy it? If the message that is not a bad one, would you still buy it?
I mean, I'm not supporting anything that's going to be openly bigoted.
Right. But like the game is not though.
Again, Wope, we all here read exactly what she said in tweet form about her. No, I sent it in the chat. We all read it.
I don't remember it.
Okay. Well, in any
Should
case,
we bring up like an exact quote, or is it not that serious?
I mean, we can do that right here on the show right now. We can bring up exact quotes so that
I'm asking you, right.
so that there is no confusion about what she said versus and what the public has snowballed into and made this about, and it's not even about that anymore. You know what I mean? Like there's hundreds and hundreds of developers that have nothing to do with her, that don't care about her views or about what she said, even though, again, what she said was not the most terrible fucking thing in the world to say. But on that same token, like I said, have nothing to do with her values or her standards, but still have to be subject to this bullshit of boycott this game, don't buy this game, don't support things that we like and things that we want to see more of, even if it's good. That doesn't make any fucking sense. If you and to say that if you pre-order this game, you are a transphobic person, that again, you cannot fucking equate people's nobody is living a moral standard life. Literally, nobody is living a moral standard life. You're probably wearing a coat that was made by some fucking person in India who can't go home and eat a meal at night because they only make 10 cents a day. Let's be honest about where we are getting all
heard it
of
here
our
first.
things. Yes, you heard it here fucking first.
If you wear coats, you are a bad person.
Exactly. So again, what like if we're gonna scrutinize her and her views about whatever, right? Scrutinize her. Don't scrutinize the game,
the product, like the message that itself is making. Like
it has nothing to do with transphobia at all. Nothing at you.
Like the game was literally about like transphobia. Like that was the objective, and you bought the game. That's a whole different story, right?
Exactly.
Right, and then you got a problem there.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
But it's not.
I'm just trying to live my wizard dream.
They'll probably support it at some point.
I'm just trying to live my wizard dreams.
And are we fucking boycotting Grand Theft Auto 5 because they make fun of literally everything and every fucking person and every
that's
race
different. That's the game.
That's satirical. Exactly. It's fucking satirical.
Oh,
and it's okay
right.
when it's satirical and we're making fun of ourselves, right? But it again.
But I feel you're talking about two different things.
No.
You're talking about hold on. You're talking.
I'm not. Listen, hear me out.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying literally there are offensive things in Grand Theft Auto. Literally, there are offensive things that would make some people very uncomfortable, make some people very, very uncomfortable. And with this game that literally has nothing to do with transphobia, they are trying to equate it to being transphobic. And I'm like,
right.
What the actual fuck?
Well, but GTA, they've already had people have had their fights. Like Grand Theft Auto is an old franchise.
Yeah, like, as we know, and it's still one of the biggest franchises.
To this day, they're still trying to equate like Grand Theft Auto to crime, like in real life, thinking that as a child, if you're playing this game, you're gonna grow up to want to steal cars and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, there has to be some belief in the cognitive dissonance that people aren't fucking idiots, right? And they're just not allowing that same level of cognitive dissonance for the game versus supporting the person. Now, I'm getting the game. I'm sorry.
I'm not. I'm getting the game.
Look,
you just said I'm not.
I'm not sorry.
Sorry.
I'm not. I'm getting the game.
Is it already preloaded on my PlayStation 5? And am I transphobic?
Yes.
Oh,
not at fucking all.
Oh, it's actually preloaded now. I didn't know if it was available or not yet.
I pre-ordered.
How about another example? Are you guys still going to support Rick and Morty and High on Life following the Justin Roiland scandal?
See that,
which by the way, we're not going to go over like the nitty gritty, the meats and potatoes of it.
I feel like that's a different situation.
It is very creepy though. I don't know if you guys have like seen what there have been like screenshots like saved and stuff like that of his conversations, and they are not pretty. So
the show can continue without him.
Yes.
So now, so I guess it kind of brings up the same question, right? Because he's still the creator, and
he's still he's a co-creator. And basically, it's his show. And same with Squanch Games, the developers behind High on Life and several other games at this point. But I'm just like, do I go back and play High on Life now? Because then all I'm gonna hear is Justin Roiland's voice.
It's hard because like, does the content reflect what he himself has done?
Well, the fucking crazy. So have you guys watched the last couple seasons of Rick and Morty?
Yeah. No.
So
yes,
Chris, do you remember when the Potato King tried to like pull Morty into a bathroom stall and like
yes,
I remember that one.
And, like,
That's
have
old
sex
though.
with him.
That's
yeah,
old.
but I mean, I think it was like, what season was that?
that was
I don't
like
know.
season 3, 4.
Was it
something
season
like
3?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless, like that shit is you can't really watch the same bits on that show that are like, oh, they made me uncomfortable, but boy, is that Justin Roiland funny. Like now it's like,
yeah, now it's a little different.
This is kind of I feel like this is what he did, you know.
And it's funny you mentioned that one scene because I kind of forgot about it until you said it, but that was like a Rick and Morty is very like funny and there's a lot of uncomfortable jokes, I guess.
Yeah.
But that one's a lot. Like that one was
fucking weird.
Yeah, it was like,
he definitely walked that line there. That shit was woo.
But it's like you don't think about it because the rest of the show is so wild in different ways that it just kind of goes over your head a little bit.
I'm just curious, like the shows, obviously it's not going to be voiced by Justin anymore, and there are people that do good impressions of the characters on the show. So I'm just curious, like what they're going to do, if they're going to cast like another person to do all those voices or several different people. I'm interested to see what happens with that.
Again, Adam, I feel like that is a totally different situation. Like because of the fact that he is so synonymous with the product, and like J.K. Rowling is still writing books, but again, her hands were completely off of this product.
And Harry Potter's bigger than her. It's been bigger than her for a very, very long time.
Is Rick and Morty bigger than him? I don't know that yet. We haven't seen that because he is so synonymous with the goddamn product. So
because he does every voice.
Exactly. We have to see if
like the show is him. Like it's almost one and the same. So in that sense, it's a little harder. And when you're so involved to that point, like you're not only writing and creative, but you're also, voice acting. It's like we can't escape you from it. We can kind of take J.K. Rowling out of it. The fan base of Harry Potter has kind of built like a protective shield.
There's so much with the world that
that's
been built that it can live without the creator. Well, JK's association with, you can't have Harry Potter without J.K. Rowling, but like just because that's a creator.
Because
exactly. Well, over time, like nobody's gonna mention J.K. Rowling with Harry Potter. Harry Potter is gonna be like his own thing now.
Exactly. Who created Bugs Bunny?
What do you mean?
Exactly.
Who created Bugs Bunny?
Who created Bugs Bunny?
Warner Brothers?
No, like the individual person.
What person?
Like how Spy.
I don't fucking know.
Exactly.
Just like one of those.
I see what you did there. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were like genuinely curious. Who...
And actually, I think the name is it's somewhere here, but I can't figure it out. It's like Franz something, or maybe that's a voice actor.
Do you remember on Family Guy when Peter was in the meeting to name Bugs Bunny? And so everyone everyone is like all in favor for Bugs Bunny, and like 9 out of the 10 people in the room raise their hand, and then the next one is Ephraim the R-word rabbit. And
yes.
Peter's like, oh, screw you guys.
Yes.
That was fucking hilarious the first time I saw that.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. I guess there's several creators of Bugs Bunny. Chuck Jones, Tex Avery, Paul Clint.
I was going with Tex Avery, to be honest. But
yeah, that one sounds the most recognizable.
Yeah.
So, I guess J.K. Rowling, do we love her or hate her?
I don't love her.
I love Harry
I'm
Potter.
about to say we don't love her, but
I'm just
the
kidding.
product that she created.
I don't give a shit about her.
Yeah.
Do we love that controversial? I mean, outsourced materials not affected, or not affected by, a controversy. The controversial creator.
It's too case by case.
Yeah, it's got to be case by case.
It's like
this one is not as black and white.
You can separate art from artist in certain situations, but it's like this isn't like an R. Kelly situation where now all of his songs are now recontextualized. Yeah, it's just not. It's not the same thing. It's not to that level.
Yeah,
she can be a bigot on her own time. Harry Potter to me has been pure and whatever.
Again, an alleged bigot. If you read her comments again,
right? Alleged. I don't know.
It's
she's not my friend.
Again, not mine either. But I'm just saying the woman deserves to at least be heard, and all ideas need to be out. We got to come to the table and fucking talk. Like, if we don't talk about shit, if we don't have these conversations, then again, we are no better than our previous fucking humans before us. We got to talk about shit. God, stop saying everything needs to be boycotted. Cancel this person. Fuck that. God, fuck. Everything is not bad. Everything is bad and everything is not bad. God.
Episode 1.
Are you okay, Chris?
No.
You've been waiting to talk about this. Where was this energy before? You did not look like you were gonna pop off like this about this.
Because I'm like, I've been hearing all the chatter online and shit, and like, I'm really sick of it. I'm so ready for this game to come out and us to get the scores. And if the scores are affected by her being the creator of the fucking product, I am going to lose my shit.
Hold on, that's another thing.
Yes,
because IGN
people will
IGN
review
had a
bomb it.
preview. IGN, yes. Oh damn, why did I draft this?
People will review like how people review. Well, remember, I think people will review bombed Breath of the Wild though, but probably it won't be to this extent though.
But they would review bomb it well. They would just automatically give it a 10.
No, I'm talking about people review bomb it as in like in a negative way.
I can't see it because they're so mad. Like the quality
because it's so good.
Yeah, that's different. That's just hate. I don't know what to tell you. That's just hate. But with the Hogwarts thing, I think IGN did like a preview and they made a lot of mention about J.K. Rowling, and not like obviously it wasn't positive, but it almost sounded like an opinion piece rather than a preview of the game. And we're not talking about the game anymore. Now we're talking about her. And I don't want the game to suffer. I mean, it's already like it's broken records for pre-orders on Steam and shit. Like, I think it's because it's so big, it's such a easy target.
It's gonna be interesting. Like, this is gonna be a big month for fantasy and games, and for Wolpe's mental state.
I just want to play. I don't give a shit. I just want to play.
The more controversy that's surrounding it,
the more excited I am to play it.
And honestly, the more I want to play the game too.
Because I've been trying to avoid it, right? I don't want to see, because I've already seen so much. And it's just like, I said this years ago, bro. The game was already bought the moment I saw the trailer. And I've been trying to avoid
the moment that we saw the leak. That's when the game was bought for me. I was like,
I never saw the leak.
I don't think I see that grainy ass leak.
You didn't see the leak back in like 2019 or something or whatever it was.
If I did, I don't remember taking it serious, but I don't remember anything before 2020.
And it looks, actually, when I think about it, like the leak looks pretty much the same, and by the same I mean like the base of the game. It looks the same how it does now. Obviously, more polish.
And I don't really like leaks like that anyway, because remember the whole GTA leak? I still feel dirty for having seen that.
I didn't see that. How long was that GTA leak?
You've never played a Grand Theft Auto game.
I played a Grand Theft. I never owned one.
You've never played a Grand Theft Auto. If you didn't, did you beat one?
No.
Then you've never played one.
So, all right.
Because fine. Like there's so I'm
play
not
Saints
even
Row
gonna get
2.
on.
That's my
Sure. I mean, okay.
Saints Row 2.
I mean, it is. It's the best. But Grand Theft
Saints Row.
Auto.
Oh, it's
Grand
its own thing.
Saints Row is Grand Theft Auto's son.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
There's no question. So. But anyway, yeah, it's just that leak made me feel dirty. So I never knew anything about the Hogwarts Legacy leak.
It's the dirty little leak.
All right, what else we got? What else we got?
This last topic is kind of hard to choose. I originally had like 2 in mind, but I kind of want to talk about like esports, right?
Okay.
And while thinking about, do you think esports will ever reach the stature that professional sports have in the US?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh.
I think so. It's been a
Okay.
growing thing. It's been a steady growing thing for a while. There's been mentions of, having esports at the Olympics. You already have, it's already a growing industry.
Don't ever allow that to happen.
Why?
Because not a sport.
The fingers be moving.
What qualifies as a sport?
Exactly, Adam.
Physical
chess
activity.
is a sport.
Cheerleading is a sport. Well, cheerleading is a physical activity. But
yeah.
Okay, but you have to do
Is
things
chess
with your
a sport,
hands.
Adam? Is
It's
chess
not.
a sport, Adam?
Chess is a game.
Chess is not a sport.
It's a sport.
No, it's not.
It's
You burn
NASCAR sport.
You burn more calories sitting there playing chess than you do doing a lot of physical activities. Did you know that?
Is NASCAR
Whatever you
a
just
sport?
said is stupid. Also,
you can say that it's stupid. It was fucking science.
Also, NASCAR. NASCAR is probably the toughest one. A lot of people will be like, "Hell yeah, NASCAR is a fucking sport."
It is.
You saying NASCAR is fucking easy and you can't, and it's not fucking competitive. What are you talking about? No, it's not a sport.
Why not? Hold on. Why is NASCAR a sport?
They literally have to train their bodies to be able to withstand the force. And if you're a fat fucking NASCAR driver, best believe that your times aren't going to be as good.
So does piloting a commercial jet, like, is that a sport?
That's not a competition.
Question.
Who says
You're not racing against other 747s
yes.
to get from DC to San Francisco faster.
Are reflexes with fingers not enough to be counted as a physical activity?
Yes, it is, Jamal.
I was asking Adam, but yes, I hear you, Chris.
Either way,
because I think it can, because people like it affects gameplay, affects how you be able to compete. So that's why I'm asking Adam.
I'll just say this: when I'm playing a video game, I don't feel athletic.
Well,
you're not playing the right games.
How about when you play Rocket League?
False.
How about when you play Rocket League?
It makes me want to cut off my own feet and throw them out the window.
Okay, and football made you want to punch. You try to punch a hole in the ground.
Turf.
Broke your hand.
It's
the same feeling, right? It made you've thrown controllers at the wall. It's the same feeling. That's a sport.
No, I haven't. You can't prove that.
Okay. I can go to your house right now. The door's open.
Okay, so I'm gonna read a definition off of sport, right?
Oh boy.
An activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment.
Okay.
So back to Adam, do pressing buttons on a controller for extended period of time not count as physical exertion?
It does.
It does.
Adam, think about when you're in an intense ass match on Rocket League and you're fucking sweating and you're fucking and your eyes are moving fast as hell. Your hands are moving faster than you even think then you're thinking at that point. Like, does that not constitute as a goddamn sport? It has to.
No.
Well, either way, the original question is, do esports get as big as, regular sports?
They will get bigger because
they won't be bigger than regular sports, though.
I think they can be, because they have a more global, like if we talk football, right? Football is mainly a United States affair.
America.
What about soccer?
Okay, hold on. Can I make my point?
No.
What I'm saying is gridiron football is localized to America, whereas you can see certain games being played all over the world. Tekken has a world tour. It literally just ended today, right? And the difference is you're never going to see that shit on cable television. Because when we're talking about how big is it going to be, we're talking about viewership, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cable television is the reason why a lot of things are visible. Football is on Fox, it's on CBS, it's on NBC. Everybody has that channel. So
wait until somebody big is like, yo, we're going all in. Wait till Fox is like, we're going all in on Rocket League tournament. Like that shit, once that shoe drops, I'm telling you, Adam, there's no way that it can't get bigger and go like in the amount of money that is just in Fortnite already, in competitive Fortnite. Like somebody is gonna latch on, somebody huge is gonna latch on, whether that be Amazon, whether that be Fox, whether that be CBS. Somebody huge is gonna latch on to it, and then it's gonna blow up from there.
I've seen shit on ESPN.
That's what G4 should have done.
Mm-hmm.
G4 failed twice, and it's a shame.
It's so fucking, I can't believe that happened.
I don't know. I think it's television as the medium isn't where G4 should be.
And then I think also, like, since the pandemic happened, a lot more things have been going like virtual. People have been wanting to stay at home. So I don't know, there's a rapidly growing online presence, like because of what happened in 2020.
Yeah.
So a lot more people are going to be doing things at home. They might be doing more things with games. A lot of people are already doing games. It just depends on, where they transition to.
And also, it's a lot more accessible than regular sports are, or it can be.
It's more
From
easy
like
for someone
aspect,
to get.
Yeah.
It's more easy for someone to get into, or just to play games and easily transition from one game to another.
Right.
Like, yeah, people can have pickup games, but that's a lot harder to do unless you go out your way to try to find sports clubs rather than just hopping on an online game, buying a game that you like, and just playing with that and playing that.
So what's the verdict?
I say it can get as big. I wouldn't say bigger.
Okay, so the idea of esports getting as big, if not bigger,
rivaling, I guess should be a good word, right?
Than traditional sport broadcasts. Do we hate it or do we love it?
I love it.
I love it.
I hate it.
I knew you would say that.
Hate. Well,
great segment.
Like, I love Evo. That's my Super Bowl.
Evo is sick, yeah.
That's my Super Bowl. Sheesh.
No,
I see Evo, I tune in.
It's amazing.
Well, I think we're getting off pretty soon here, boys.
Well, great show. Great
from everyone here at PixelHate. We thank you, but we're getting off now. See ya.